Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you are watching this video. How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for clicking in to watch. So I'm taking you guys to another village. There's a village in LUGBE that a lot of people do not know about. Like, they see it from the express, but they've never really gone there. So I decided to take you guys along to that village to show you how big this village is. The wealthy people, the rich people come all the way from town, the city center, to build houses in this place. I feel that a lot of structures here will be pulled down soon, because if you see how massive this place is and how, in fact, I'll just allow you guys to watch this video to the very end and see for yourself the kind of beautiful structures that people, you know, built in this area of Lugbe. It's not like because yes, there's no infrastructure in that places. There are no normal roads there. But I feel that because of that settlement, the government might need to demolish a lot of places there. And because yesterday we had a meeting with somebody who wants to give my husband his property to help him sell. So my husband was now asking him, where is the house located? He was asking us about prices of houses like 2 bedroom bungalow, 2 bedroom flat. How much does it go for in Kubwa and Lugbe? So my husband now asked him why he's asking. So he began to tell my husband how the house he built, the house is so beautiful. It has a water heater, all of those things. So my husband asked him what is the title of the land. My husband was telling him that the price of houses differ. If you are buying a house and the land that the house is built on is very big, like you still have space, it cannot be the same price with the houses that have a very little space and then just the building, even though it's in the same location, and then the finishing of the house, how well built the house is. So when my husband asked him what's the title of the land, he said, what is the meaning of title? So I want to let you guys know what a title is in this video also, as I take you to this village. Title means what is the document of the land, like what kind of certification did you get for the land? Is it an R of O or a C of O? You understand? A C of O. Like, you know how they now what they do in Nigerian in the CAC or anywhere you want to go to, and you want to maybe do registration for maybe your land or your where you want to build, those kind of things. You want to go and verify your particulars, your documents and all. What they will ask you for, or your land documents, what they will ask you for is, before you do your C of O, now you must have an R of O. You must have your right of occupancy before they give you the certificate of occupancy. You need to have it. So one of our clients did have his own, or rather he misplaced his own. So my husband had to go to do it again. I think they were charging then about 256 or 250,000. That was how much they were charging to be able to rectify it. Then they will now issue the C of O to the person. And lands that have R of O are not as pricey as lands that have C of O. And most of the lands I saw in this village, even though the houses are very big, some of them are R of O. They don't have C of O. Some of them bought village lands, like community land. And the danger in buying community land is that if you buy a land that is a community land, maybe you bought it from a chief, and the government they can demolish your house because you did not buy it from the government. When I mean buy it from the government, you didn't do search, you didn't go to Aegis, you didn't go to AMAC, depending on what area your land is under, what's your district, what area is it under. You need to find out all those things. So now the man wants to sell this house for, I think he said, for 15 million. So my husband had asked him, what location is the place? He mentioned the place, even though we don't really know much about this Lugbe area, but he mentioned the place. But my husband was like, he has to see the house, because my husband is not just a real estate person, he's a valuer. So he needs to see the place to be able to give him the price. Because normally I advise people, if you want to buy or sell a land, if you want to sell a land or buy any property, always value it so that you will know the value. You understand? You know the price value, the price value. You will know. You will just know the value so that if somebody is coming to sell to you or you are the one buying, you know what you are going to buy. But some people, because they don't want to pay for valuation, they just buy things blindly. What if you bought this land blindly, and then it's time for you to sell, and you don't get you don't get the value of what you paid for. So it's usually good to know the value of a house or a property to be able to buy it. So you understand my point. So right now I'm going to allow you guys watch this video to the very end and see the whole of this place is built in this particular village and people live in here. But there's a particular spot we got to that I saw that it was really dangerous, and if you are coming here, you should be very careful because they can easily cave in, and you know what that could do to a car. So if you are coming to this village, you need to be very, very careful. So this village is in LUGBE. I told you guys in the number, I think the first video I did of LUGBE, I told you how LUGBE is so big. LUGBE is big. If they can do the right infrastructure, do the right things, you won't be able to buy lands here anymore. LUGBE is big. The houses are the rich men sunk here. You won't believe it. Like, they built real big estates, beautiful edifice here. You understand? So if you still have money and you want to buy a property in such areas, try as much as possible to get a valuer, or try to get something that, how do I explain it? Try to get a place that when you are to sell or resell, you'll be able to get good value for what you bought. So this village here, there's this place that people, if you drive down now, you see where people are parking their cars because the other area is rocky, so they cannot pass there with the car. So they park their car in some areas and then walk to their houses. And I know very well that settlement should be illegal, because I don't think government will give people this kind of settlement to live in. As I see very beautiful houses around this village, I don't think the government gave those people. I just feel it's a settlement. It's just a settlement that might be removed. So when you are buying any property in this area, you need to be very careful. Have it in mind that anytime the government is ready, just look at how nylon bags are scattered all over. Whenever the government is ready, they can pull down your structure. I've heard of people speak on radio crying how they demolished their houses and all of that they didn't give them notice, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. But just know that when you live in this kind of area, just have it in mind, especially for a building that is not planned, like it's not in a planned area. Just know that when the government come, they will not spare you. And if you're buying a property here, you should be careful, because sometimes we have money. If you have 5 million, 6 million, I will rather you go to meet a mortgage bank, give them that money, tell them to show them where you work, and let them know that if they pay up this money, you are going to pay the money. I don't know how to explain it. Let me explain this mortgage to you. For example, I keep using ASO Savings. I know I'm marketing for them. A lot of people have gone to ASO Savings courtesy of how I marketed their package. You could go to ASO Savings. It's a microfinance bank. They are into mortgage. You tell them where you work. If you still have like 10 years to retire, and you give them like 10 million naira, and you want to buy a house of 50 million, they would give you that house. They will ask you to maybe get a house of 40 million. They will take that 10 million from you, and the remaining 30 million, they will pay it to the developers. Then you will now be paying them monthly. You'll be paying you'll be paying monthly to the mortgage bank. That is what is done. And you because the people have an understanding, you can put a mandate on your account so that every time salary hits your account, they debit you, because the bank will give you can pay for some banks give you 6 years to pay. Some banks give you 10 years to pay. Some banks give you 15 years, depending on how long you still have, the years you still have to be in service. I don't know if you are understanding. So basically, that's it. So when you are coming to this area to buy any property, just have it in mind that it could be demolished at any time, except for properties that are well built and well planned. And even the ones that look so beautiful, you need to still find out if it's government allocation, because if it's not government allocation, it will not have any title. And I explained to you guys what a title meant earlier in this video. What a title meant. So when somebody asks you what's the title of your land, is asking you if it is a C of O, a R of O, or a community land, or some people call it chief land. So you can see how this place looks. It doesn't look like a place that is well planned. But for you're going to see areas where the areas where it looks as though it's well planned. And those areas, even when you are buying a house there, you should also do your due diligence so that you don't fall victim of circumstance. Because a lot of people are into land grabbing in this place. A lot of people will collect your money. I've mentioned this in one of my videos. They'll get money from you. They'll take you to a land that they had already sold to someone else. And the papers could be genuine, but because they have finished squandering the first money the person paid, they want to, collect money from you again. And so whenever you are buying a land, ensure that the land does not have any encumbrance, because if it does, you are going to lose your money and lose the land. So I also mentioned how one of my brothers, this guy is a fruit seller and fresh vegetables. I mentioned how one of my brothers had a land, and he got there and met people building or clearing the land to start building. So basically, those things happen in Abuja a lot. So whatever land you are buying, you should be very careful. I keep I hammer on this whenever I'm doing a voiceover on my videos, and I'm talking about estate development and all of that. So you see this beautiful estate that has those black roofs up in front. That is the estate that made me enter this village. I never even knew this was a village. So when I saw that it was a village, I decided to tour it. I saw this estate from the express, and I was wondering how. I never even knew people had not even started occupying it. So I was wondering, I said, maybe we should go there and tour this place and show you guys. So in case you need to, invest, you can come here and invest. So for this estate that is well built, the one you can see the roofs, everything lined up like that in front, in such areas you can buy because it's an estate. I tell people that I would rather buy an estate land than buy a land that I'm the one doing everything. Like, I'm the one searching for the land. I'm going to do search. After doing search, you pay. You see window search. Window search is where you go and do a sketchy, like you are just checking to know if the land is genuine, if it is really the person's own. But the main search, you have to pay. The main search, you will pay to see the lands. And sometimes you need to rub the palms of the people who are going to show you those documents. That is the people working in either AMAC, Aegis, or what have you. You need to give them something to be able to fast track and bring out the documents you came for. So all of these things. And these people, ACO has a land here that they are trying to develop. This is their prototype here on this screen, on this billboard here. It's their prototype. So that's what they want to build in that land where they set that banner. So this estate was what brought us here. That was the attraction. That was what brought us here. And we discovered that the estate is selling, but they've not allowed people to enter into that estate. So I was supposed to go into that estate and tour it. And we drove to the place, to the gate. We spoke to the security man to let us come in and tour the estate so that you see how the estate is, if you'll be interested to buy. Or maybe you want to buy and live there, or buy and rent it, so that you know how everything is, tour the building for you. But they didn't allow us. And most of this estate you are seeing is owned by, have you seen this place? People are having their baths in this place. It's a ravine, but people are having their baths with water settled. So you see this estate, it's all these big men, all these senators, House of Reps members that they'll buy lands here, because the land here at that time was very cheap. You can see, they said this property is for sale, you see. So this estate is actually for sale. But because most of these big men, they don't have need, like they are not hungry, let me put it that way. They have so much in their account, so they build estates like this and abandon them. They build the estate, abandon them without coming to the place. There's one estate my husband saw one time. We're going to, show a client a place. That estate has been there for over 10 years and nobody occupied it. It is only somebody who is stinkingly wealthy that will sink. I keep saying sink because when you put money into something and you are not getting your turnover, to me, I feel you are sinking it. So for somebody to build that kind of estate for more than 10 years and it's not occupied, nobody is living there. And the thing is, when you build a property and you don't occupy it or you don't give it to people to occupy, you are inviting the house to spoil. It's going to spoil because this is the gate to that estate. They didn't let us in. So this is a primary school in that village. This primary school on the left is in that village. So this other estate, this estate you are seeing, that are very beautiful. They are in planned, they are in planned areas. So you see, those estates that are in planned areas will not have problem. You can see the way it's even well built. You can see the way they give enough space for road. But those places that are not well built, that are illegal structures, they don't give road, they don't give access road. They just come, cut the ground and start building. And such houses, of course, it's going to have serious issues. So all these buildings I see are owned by all these top politicians, business people who just came here to, build. And some people buy it because they hear that they are actually selling estates, lands in some areas like this. And when they find out that the land is genuine, they will just deal in the sense that they will pay and buy the land. You see some people, maybe in those days, that they will do adverts. You see people say, they are this land, okay, these people settling here at the Fulanis. This is what they do. They come to people's lands and settle. In fact, for them to be building, for the Fulanis to be building this kind of concrete building on the left, I'll show you the building. For them to be building that, it shows that they are not even ready to hand over the land to the owner. I don't know if you understand, because some of these Fulani people, when they come to your land, they will say they just want to stay there, and while they wait time, they are not going to live there. But by the time they start using concrete to build or begin to build certain structures, they won't want to leave. And trying to recover your land will be a problem. So some of them will even go as far as planting cashew trees on your land, so that when you come, you are going to pay them. I don't know if you understand. So a lot of these things happen in Abuja. So when you see these people begin to build structures on your land, just come and stop them immediately. Because the earlier you stop them, the better for you. So it will help you to not have issues when you are ready to build. Because a lot of them are very cunning. They'll just come in pretense that they want to start living there and taking care of the land for you. Little did you know that that's not their aim. Their aim is for them to take over your land. And a lot of them do that. When you come to try to recover your land, they will begin to fight you. Have you seen this beautiful house? A very, very beautiful house like this in this place. So a lot of these planned areas will not have issues. But this village here, they are going to demolish a lot of buildings in this area as time goes on, because as construction keeps going on here and people push for infrastructure, once infrastructure hits this place, it will no longer be the village. It will turn out to be a very beautiful layout where people will always want to. The place is actually very big, let me say massive. It's actually a very massive settlement, and a lot of people are still building and buying here. So if you feel that you have been looking for a place to buy, maybe to give out the rent, some people will say they can't live here because of the way the place looks. Most of these rich men you see building houses here, buying houses here, they are not the ones living here. They build these houses, buy these houses, and give it out for rent. So it will be like a means of having income. Like when they pay rent, you get like that. Some of them have done this as a result. I've had so many buildings right now, they've gone into real estate business. I don't know if you understand. Like they bought these houses because if they give you estate land, when it's a groundbreaking price, it's different from when it has, if it has gotten foundation. The one with foundation is different price from the one that had they started laying blocks, like doing the normal building construction, and that is what you call the carcass. Carcass is different, so all of this is just to say, when you come here to buy a property, these are the information you should look out for. So I hope I have helped to give you the right information, the terminologies they use that may confuse a lot of people who are not into property business. So I just thought to, put that there for you. See this kind of fine house on the left. People really came here and built houses. So they really built houses here, like you don't want to know. They really built houses, beautiful houses, you know and they have some hotels here. You cannot even imagine how far people live, and they still go to the city center to go to work. So I just thought to tour this environment for you, and also to give you the do's and don'ts of property business, or when you want to go into it, or if you want to buy a land or a house. So, guys, what do you think? I want you to leave it on the comments. Did you learn anything from this video? Did you hear any strange word that was interpreted? Was this the first time you are hearing it? Did you learn anything about buying a property, what you should look out for, the necessary things to do when buying a property, the what to accept and what not to accept? All of those things were mentioned. So, guys, you can see the beautiful houses people, built in this area. Is not something that you should, you should underrate. Whenever you hear of an estate land, buy it. Some estate lands will sell a land, maybe a 450 square meter for 1 million. It depends on the kind of estate. They sell for 1 million, and then they now ask you to start building. Some will sell for 2.5, and then people who have so much money, they'll end up buying like 3 slots, which is about 7.5 million. So some who have so much, you see them, buying for they put in 10 million naira to buy 4 plots. So by the time they use 10 million naira to buy 4 plots, they develop it. If you get a very good, builder that will develop that land for you, you're going to make so much money. Because sometimes the estate will ask, some estate will say you should pay for them to build. Some estate push for that. While some developers don't push for that, they will tell you that they've given you your house or land, you come and build by yourself. You see, people are still building. You can see that messy man, the bricklayer there. You can see him. So basically, anyone you get, just find out the right information from ask the right questions, so that you don't fall prey of land grabbers and all of those sort. There are some lands that people will even sell to you, like the client we met yesterday. We had a meeting with. He was telling us that when he bought that land, it was supposed to go for 700, but because all these land grabbers came trying to struggle the place with him, that they bought it from them and he didn't complete paying, he had to give the land grabber 100,000, so that it will not bring problem. At the end of the day, he ended up buying the place for 800, if you ask me. So in order not to go into that kind of thing, when you want to buy a land, find out from them, this land, is it in court? Does it have any issue? You need to find out all of those things. Is there any encumbrances? You need to find out all those stuff before you deal, so that you don't fall prey of all those things. So that's basically it. So if in fact, if you even want to go into property business, like you have been looking for what kind of job should I do, what is it that I really can do in my life, the way the year is running, I'm getting to 20 years, I'm getting to 22 years, I don't really have anything going for me, you could start agency work. Like, you see that that board we passed, you just go there, copy the number. When people need the house, you take them there. When you copy the number, call the management, tell them that you are an agent, a freelance agent, and this is what you do for a living. Like, please, if you get buyers, or if you get people to rent, are they going to give you a commission? And they will say yes. And by the time they say that, you go ahead and do your due diligence. At the end of the day, they will give you your own cut, and you made money. Imagine that you help someone to sell a land of 300 million. You know, that's a lot of money for you. It's a whole lot of money. Instead of sitting down doing nothing, instead of sitting down not being employed. These days, I used to advise young people, instead of going to look for a job, create a job opportunity for yourself. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in our next one. Bye.